Okay, so it is 11 o'clock on the West Coast. I see quite a few people still flowing in. That's okay. We'll get them caught up and you'll definitely get the full recording after this. But everyone, can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, go ahead and just give me a yes in the chat. If you can't find the chat, it should be in your little Zoom toolbar there. Just give me a yes if you can see. And if you can change the all panelists option to all panelists and attendees. Thanks, Daisy. Thanks, Anne Michelle. Nice to see you guys. Just change, thanks, Barry. Just change that, that option from all panelists to panelists and attendees, and everyone will be able to see your comments throughout this session. You know, it's crazy. I just heard that if you're active in the chat during this session, you're 85% more likely to get something, you know, something useful out of this session. So let's stay active rather than having a ton of tabs open. Let's go ahead and stay active in the chat before we get going. Just share with me where you're from, your practice area. We'll start to get a good sense of who we have here, and we've quite a few attorneys on the line already. So just share that with us, and we will get going. Okay, so again, thank you for being here. It's really great to see so many of you here. Looks like quite a few folks are actually still flowing in, but let's go ahead and get to it. So in case we haven't met, I'm Cara Pryor. I'm the president of James Publishing and a founder of our Marketing Amplifier program. And you know, I talk to dozens and dozens of attorneys every week about the best ways to improve their marketing results. And I'll tell you, one of the most common questions I hear over and over again is, how can I distinguish myself from the many other attorneys in my area offering similar services, right? Well, you know, it's true that most small law firms fail to sort of distinguish themselves and their marketing from their competition. And worse, what I see so often is they take a salesy approach, right? Which can be an immediate turnoff for consumers. So it's really, you know, no surprise that their marketing results are mediocre, right? So we have a different approach. That's what we're going to talk about today. And that's to provide value upfront, right? Value first. And that way, you know, your prospects trust that you care. You know, that's one of the most important things that we can convey. Respect, your prospects will respect your knowledge, understand your knowledge, right? And think of you first when a need arises. Think of you first when they are ready to hire. So the goal today is to show you a different way to market your law firm that you can implement yourself, that will, without a doubt, set you apart. So in the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to show you, as you can see on the slide, I'm going to show you inexpensive and straightforward ways to create information products that help prospects. So we'll talk a lot about what to create, how to create it, what content to include. We'll cover simple ways to set yourself apart from your competitors, right? Which can often be the biggest challenge. Generate a list of promising prospects, and then of course, convert your interested prospects into clients. Thanks for all of the chat. Great to see you guys here. We have John from Tyler, Texas. We have Charles, we have Daisy. Great mix, estate planning. Hi, Anne Michelle. Great. Keep it up. Keep sharing those geographic locations and your areas of practice. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the meat of this. So why change, right? So chasing website visitors, or website visitors and callers on Google has a place in every law firm's marketing, right? Of course it does. But it's important to remember that this channel, sort of this traditional SEO channel, it continually grows more difficult and unfortunately more expensive. We're going to talk about that a bit. Can materially decline in effectiveness overnight, right? You can really drop off without, in no blame or in no part of your own or your agency's, right? It certainly makes it difficult to stand apart from the competition when everyone is investing in SEO and PPC, and it can be really expensive to set yourself apart. And in the end, it doesn't belong to you, right? So whether you're using pay-per-click ads, Facebook ads, organic listings, maybe local SEO, your long-term goal should be to lessen your dependence on Google, for it really is extraordinarily difficult to distinguish your firm when the prospects only see, maybe a few lines of copy before deciding where to click, right? There just isn't that opportunity. And Google will always be a key marketing channel for lawyers. I'm certainly not arguing that, but being primarily dependent on Google rankings or on, Google's PPC ads, it's really a risky strategy in the short term and certainly in the long term. So rankings are subject to change. And again, the price of PPC ads, as you've seen, if you're investing, has, continues to steadily climb, and we assume that will continue. But worse, you only have a few lines of text with which you can sort of try to separate yourself from your competition, right? It's near impossible to create any meaningful sort of distinction or really stand out or build trust, build that familiarity in just a few words, right? That's impossible. So we instead recommend pursuing sort of 3 channels instead of Google alone. So 1, Google will always be important, but 2, referrals, and then 3, a new addition to your marketing, sort of what I'm calling your marketing quiver, that we call value first, right? So pursuing value first in the way that I'll describe in a moment will certainly build a marketing channel for you and for your firm that you can really depend on and start to create a predictable revenue stream. Okay, so adding a different approach. We call this different marketing strategy value first, using a variety of techniques, which I'll certainly describe in this webinar. You'll use this novel strategy to, you can see I included on the slide, show that you have expertise handling the prospect's legal problem. That's probably the most important first and foremost. But you're also building familiarity, you're showcasing your expertise, building that trust, that distinctiveness. And then perhaps most important, generate pre-sold prospects, pre-sold callers who prefer to work with you rather than shop around, right? They're looking to hire you because you are the one that has been providing that value. You are the one who has certainly been, educating them and helping them along the way. So by giving prospects sort of an upfront look at the work that you do instead of kind of keeping it hidden. So often I talk to attorneys who, they're not very upfront about who they want to help or who they can help and maybe who they'd rather not, the cases that they'd rather not take on. So, by giving prospects really that upfront transparent look at the work you do, instead of keeping it hidden, you really make it a lot easier for prospects to take that next big step of putting their legal futures in your hands, right? They want someone to relieve that burden from them. And who is that going to be? That's what we want to help you prove and build up and create that brand. So they learn doing this. Your prospects certainly learn how you'll handle their problem, how their case is likely to unfold, and really see for themselves that you understand their issue. You specifically have the skill set and the knowledge to handle their issue, and you know what to do with it, right? So you also distinguish yourself from your competitors down the street who are still taking that kind of out-of-date, copycat, certainly ineffective approach, saying, call me, I'm great, call me now, I'm great, you don't need to know anything more about me, but here are my credentials and I'm great, so you should call me, right? So that is where we're coming in with this whole approach. And best of all, the value-first marketing approach, it draws prospects who have already decided to hire you, right? They come almost selling themselves to you rather than vice versa. And the first step in adding this proven strategy to your marketing toolkit is creating helpful educational materials. That's really where it starts. And that's really what I'm going to focus on and help you with during this short kind of 30-minute session. So starting off, number 1, create information products that help prospects. Good content ideas, they're plentiful, right? But the trick to generating helpful concepts for information that kind of lures prospects is simple. Write or speak to do-it-yourselfers. Pretend you're teaching a non-lawyer about the work you do. That's a great approach, right? And start explaining how their legal problem will be handled, the investigation, the research, the analysis, drafting, arguing, negotiating, all of it. Describe how it will likely unfold. And, it's interesting because we often get pushback when we explain this approach to lawyers. Again, I talk to so many attorneys every week, and I do often get some pushback, but those who object, in my opinion, are really missing a key point. And if you're objecting to this kind of appealing to the do-it-yourselfer, you're assuming that you're educating your prospects so much so that they will just handle their case themselves and you'll lose out on the business. But the legal consumers who will take the information that you provide and actually handle their own legal issues, they were never going to be your clients in the first place, right? So the prospects you're targeting are those who want to hand off their problem, but just don't know which lawyer to choose, which lawyer to select. So keep that in mind. And this approach, it just works so well because, of course, it demonstrates your expertise to the prospect's legal problem, right? But it creates familiarity, creates trust in both you and the work that you do. So what I'm doing in this webinar right now is an example of this approach, right? So even though we provide a service called Marketing Amplifier that delivers much of this value-first marketing strategy that we're talking about today, we regularly explain kind of the various elements of the service to those lawyers who want to implement those elements themselves. But the do-it-yourselfers, they're not our market, but those who like the approach but want to outsource its work, that's our market, right? So you can, and you really should take that same approach because it's incredibly effective. I wanted to share some sample titles of booklets or mini books or even videos, which I'll get much more into videos in a moment. But I wanted to provide some sample titles, some jumping off points, kind of depending on your area of practice, based on the feedback on the chat. We actually have a pretty good kind of cross section, pretty good mix of specialties on this Zoom webinar. So I'll quickly go through some of these in the next couple slides, but you'll get the slides after. So, don't feel like you have to be jotting these down now, but just again, to kind of give you jumping off points. So for instance, bankruptcy could be save your home from foreclosure, halt creditor calls, how bankruptcy gives you a fresh start, is bankruptcy right for you? Business litigation, resolve your business dispute without going to court. Criminal defense, perhaps we're talking about the best defense to a DUI charge, or when your loved one has been jailed, how plea bargains are negotiated, should you accept the prosecution's offer. Estate planning, a checklist for putting your estate in order. Let's move on to some other areas. Family law, how to minimize damage to your children when divorcing. Personal injury, tips for negotiating with the insurance adjuster. Maybe we're talking about what is your personal injury case worth? That's what everyone wants to know, right? Social Security disability, common mistakes made by Social Security disability applicants. So proven techniques for creating titles are beginning with how to, and then that helpful information, playing on curiosity, playing on, the common questions that you hear, and then generating a list is really effective too. 8 ways to ... right? So keep that in mind. And the media, the type of content that you use can and really should vary. So, perhaps we're talking about a nice mix of videos, booklets, even for some areas of practice, webinars can be very effective. So even podcasts, right? They're all suitable, but start with the approach that you're most comfortable with, because you're most likely to, to really stick with it in that case. Here's on the screen, these are some samples of some of the booklets that we provide as part of our program. You'll see there's tons of varying topics in varying areas, but the key to making content creation a real integral part of your marketing effort is devoting regular time to producing new pieces. Make this part of your strategy. And if you can't carve out time, of course, outsourcing to legal writers, or to a more kind of varied legal content creator like us is certainly an alternate approach. But to follow a value-first marketing strategy, you certainly need content of some type, right? That's really the backbone. It's really the foundation. Okay, so moving right along to number 2, set yourself apart from your competitors. Lead with your information. Again, lead with your information. Making value first the kind of underlying philosophy of most, if not all, of your marketing will certainly distinguish yourself from 95% of lawyers who shout, "I'm great, hire me," right? And the change to value first, kind of the shift to value first, it requires a shift in your thinking. So going forward, you'll begin emphasizing, getting your helpful information out to as many qualified prospects as possible, and in as many ways as possible too. So delivering on the new commitment means that your future marketing efforts will be on placing your helpful information in the hands of lots of qualified prospects. That is the goal. And essentially, you'll judge the effectiveness of those efforts on how many prospective clients are reaching you with your content. So know that the calls will come once your information distribution is dialed in. It's really, it's a mistake to try, when you're taking this approach, to try to become so ROI obsessed, return on investment obsessed, that you're losing sight of the whole goal of this approach, which is branding and trust building and, building that distinctiveness, right? So if you're trying to say, okay, I put this booklet out, or I shot this video on this day, and I have yet to sign a single client, in a week directly from that video. That is the wrong way to think about that, right? That's a wrong way to really evaluate the performance of this approach. I mean, if you're talking about buying leads, if you're purchasing leads, if you're investing in PPC, of course, there needs to be that direct line, that direct correlation between the amount of money that you're spending and the number of leads that you're receiving, the number of leads that are then converting into clients. But this is a very, very different approach. It's a long-term approach, it's a sustainable approach, and it's the approach that will get you the type of client that you're looking for. So just keep that in mind. And as you test different content types, I think you'll learn pretty quickly which ones you enjoy creating the most, but also the ones that are most effective at generating the calls for your audience. So booklets, videos, for some specialties, like I mentioned, webinars are what we recommend you try first. Okay, so attracting prospects. Number 3, generate a list of promising prospects. So once you have one or more sort of high interest information offerings, types of content, you can use your information products in multiple ways to really attract and really engage those prospects. So we certainly recommend that you present your content on your website, to your email list, on your social profiles, in webinars, if that makes sense for you, to use with promo partner lists, which we'll talk about, and even using this content in your PPC ads. You can imagine how using content in the top of the funnel, as we call it, right, the top offer in a PPC ad, offering a free resource, a booklet, a video, and then really nurturing those prospects along will be much more effective than, wasting your money on a PPC ad, just offering a free consult or the opportunity to book an appointment. Okay, so a great initial use of information of your varying offers is to build your list, right? So by sort of regularly creating helpful information products, promoting those products, asking for contact info, and maybe a qualifying question or two before a prospect can actually get the item, you'll steadily add fresh names and up-to-date names to your prospect list. And having a sizable list of engaged prospects can certainly become a major marketing resource for your firm. Our email list, which is ever growing and ever sort of refreshed, is our number one marketing asset. And, think about it. You can use your list to regularly share helpful tips, helpful information that keeps you top of mind, gets you further circulated by recipients, right? You can certainly use your list to attract and reward helpful promotional partners, and then find new clients with sort of special appeals whenever business slows. So the most effective way to build a list of prospects, I feel like we don't talk about this enough, and it's really so effective and so critical. So working with promo partners, with promotional partners, is really the best way to get yourself and your information in front of new prospects. The approach is effective, the approach is fast, it's free. Our favorite way to add prospect names to our own list is co-promoting on a webinar or some sort of kind of information product, a book, a booklet, together with a promo partner. So by reaching out to the promotion partners list, in addition to your own list, that's how we reach new audiences at essentially zero cost. So we recommend you use the technique yourself. We use it, it works, and it will absolutely be one of the best ways to steadily grow that list. And the best promotion partners, of course, have sizable current and engaged email lists of people who would make good clients for your firm. So maybe, think about some of your referral partners. A few examples would be, maybe credit counselors for bankruptcy attorneys, financial advisors, maybe insurance agents for estate planners, marriage counselors for law firms, for family law firms, accountants, of course, for business and employment lawyers. So, think about those folks who would, kind of nicely complement your practice. Okay, so number 3, generate a list of promising prospects. So what to do when you don't have a list? To lure and keep promotional partners, you need to help them get new leads, right? That's how it's going to be a sustainable partnership. And of course, you have to offer something to prospective promotion partners. If you don't yet have a list of prospects that they can promote to, you'll need to offer something else, right? So one potential approach is to invite 2 or 3 speakers to a webinar you host. And, you could ask them, of course, in exchange to promote the event to their own list. And this way, every speaker gets in front of some new names without having to provide a list. So the registrant names belong to you. You're the one hosting the webinar, which will give you and your existing list will give you new names or will help you kind of launch that list, right? So it will certainly give you a boost. And if you regularly pursue new promotional partners, you'll gradually build a network of list owners whose prospects you can frequently get in front of. This is what we do. So more and more of their names will eventually become your names. And as your lists grow, it will become easier to persuade new partners to join your promo network, right? Does that make sense? And going along with that, so what to have your promo partners promote? So we recommend booklets, videos, and like I mentioned, for some specialties, webinars. Ideally, you'll be able to rotate among these content types, but your offer should address a pain point facing your partner's audience. That's what will be most effective. That's what will really resonate, right? So suggest to your partner that maybe you swap e-blasts with your partner promoting your offer to their list, and you, of course, then in turn promoting their offer to your list, whatever that might be. Certainly, our experience, our list is most receptive to educational materials, free resources, free ebooks, free downloads, webinars as we're doing now. And again, really steer clear from that salesy approach. And if you employ e-blast swaps, e-blast exchanges with various partners, you'll learn which topics, which content type kind of work well for you, and which partnerships are worth continuing, are worth your time to kind of nurture and cultivate. So as your network of effective promotion materials and partners grows, so too will your marketing results, right? So for specialties like bankruptcy, business litigation, business transactions, estate planning, immigration, even Social Security disability, which are sort of less dependent on a time-sensitive event, webinars can work really, really well. They can work wonderfully as your giveaway. But for specialties that, of course, tend to be kind of highly dependent on events like criminal, family law, injury, content information products are probably better giveaways to use. So mini books, booklets, ebooks, quizzes, evaluation tools, checklists all work really well. If you're a bankruptcy attorney, which I see we have a few, actually quite a few on this line, bankruptcy booklets listing the most common mistakes made by people experiencing financial difficulties. That would be highly valuable. Estate planning, maybe a webinar explaining a child protection plan that's implemented if both parents die. Family law, maybe we're talking about a booklet detailing the most common mistakes made by spouses planning to separate. Personal injury, a booklet providing examples of how insurers take advantage of inexperienced claimants, right? So, you know, really think about what would resonate with your target audience. And that's kind of the first step. Okay, is everyone tracking with me so far? Let's wake up in the chat. Give me a yes if you're tracking with me, if you're with me, if you're understanding, and of course, offer any questions that you might have. We're going to answer all those at the end. We already have some great ones in, so thank you. I'll make sure I get to all of them. Cool. Thanks, guys. Good. You're still awake. I love it. Barry, Daisy, John, Charles. Thanks, guys. Good. And Michelle, awesome. Okay, so moving right along to number 4. So convert your interested prospects to clients. Use past case videos to demonstrate expertise. Prospects want to know if you've handled a situation like theirs, right? Specifically like the situation that they're going through, or one close to it at least, right? And what results you obtained. What were the results? What are the likely results of their case is really what they're looking for. So for this, nothing beats past case videos for demonstrating your expertise, for, you know, they really persuasively convey experience with a variety of scenarios, a variety of fact patterns, as well as build trust, build familiarity. So use past case videos to demonstrate expertise. And once you've attracted prospects by kind of distributing this educational material that we've been talking about through promo partners and through other methods, you'll want to persuade those prospects that you are the right lawyer to handle their legal issue. Think about it. If you can allow your prospects to meet you on your website, to watch you discuss a situation that's very similar to the legal situation that they're going through, you can imagine how compelling and how much that would really build trust with your prospects. So past case videos, they're a wonderfully effective way to convince prospects that you have the necessary experience. You specifically have that experience, not the attorney down the street. And prospects are looking for a lawyer who's dealt with their scenario specifically, or something close to it, right? So if you have a past case video covering their fact pattern, you will immediately leap ahead of the other lawyers being considered. So since this is the case, the idea is to have an ever-growing collection of these past case videos. Ideally, you'll just work it into your kind of case close process, right? Once you close a case, if it has a fact pattern that you haven't yet outlined in a past case video, just put that into your process. It's when the details of the case are most fresh in your mind. It's the perfect time to just plop down in front of your computer, pull out your phone, however you want to do it, and just, over 2 to 3 minutes max, just outline the details of the case, in a very, sort of direct, practical, plain English way, and you'll pretty quickly be able to grow this collection of past case videos. So I actually wanted to show you an example of this. This is, here's an example of a past case video that we recently shot for a personal injury firm in Orange County, California, Russell Lazarus. So I'll just play a few moments of it for you now so you can get a sense of what I'm talking about. So I'll play it now.
I'd like to share with you a recent case experience that we had. We had a gentleman who was injured on a construction site. At the construction site, he was on a ladder that failed. The employer refused to acknowledge the accident and even lied and said, our guy was never there. And then he even called and threatened our guy with violence for making a claim. The client came to us as a referral from a friend of a friend. So he knew that we knew what we were doing, and there was a lot of confidence, but there also creates a need for us to live up to that level.
Okay, so, I wanted to show you that because I think viewing examples is a really good way just to get inspiration and to see, kind of how to do this. So I'll share a bunch of links after this, links to examples with varying fact patterns and in varying specialties, so you can get a better sense of.
I'd like to share
of what I'm talking about here. Okay, just got to get back. It's always tricky with these videos. Okay, so FAQ videos, testimonial videos, do you have a case videos, they're also super persuasive. So it can take time and of course regular effort to build a collection of past case videos. So a shorter route that's still effective is to create a variety of videos for your practice niches. So again, FAQs, frequently asked questions, testimonial, case requirement videos, they all work really, really well. And if you prefer to kind of commit only a certain amount of time, a capped amount of time to creating conversion videos, rather than devoting regular effort on an ongoing basis to video creation, I really recommend that you focus on shooting one or more of 3 types of videos. So those videos be answer questions frequently asked by prospects and new clients. You know those questions that you get all the time that you feel like you're always answering and responding to. Just sit down for a few minutes and list out those questions. Each of those questions will make a wonderful video, 1 question per video. I should say 1 answer per video. And then another type of video, getting persuasive video testimonials from past clients. You know, I hear often that this is difficult for attorneys to kind of create a steady flow of past client testimonial videos, because it does take some effort and does take some time to kind of, you know, even though you have, you know, loads, dozens and dozens of happy past clients, if you don't have a process, kind of a coordinated approach for getting them on a Zoom and shooting these testimonial videos, it's difficult to get those. But once you get them, they are marketing gold. So testimonial videos are huge from your past clients. And then of course, detailing the types of clients and scenarios for which you provide the most help. So outlining the type of client and the type of scenario that you're looking for. So I really want to show you some samples in the next few slides, and they're of the varying video types that I just described. So here on this slide, I'll just play a few minutes of, here's an example of an FAQ video. Let me play it for you now.
Hi, I'm Neema Olena, and I'm a DWI and criminal defense attorney practicing in the Collin County, Texas, and surrounding areas. Sometimes it's hard to know what to do when the police are at your door. Today, I'd like to discuss that with you. The police are at the door. Do I have to let them in?
Okay, so answering a common question that this attorney gets all the time, right? Super effective. Okay, here's an example of a client testimonial video like I was talking about earlier. These are marketing gold, and they really, you know, once you have a system in place, they can really start flowing in and they can be used as social proof in so many different ways. So let me just play this testimonial video for you.
Hi, my name is Ron Fieldhouse. I live in Roseville, California. I have recommended Richard to many of my friends who are in some kind of situation. He does a lot of estate work. So I had a lot of friends that kept saying, oh, one day I need to do this, I need to do this. I said, well, I got the guy. And they're very satisfied with Richard. Richard made them think about things they hadn't thought of yet, even though they thought they were prepared. He sees things in a much, much broader.
So super compelling, you know, the words coming right from your past client is really kind of what you want to focus on. And then the last sample I want to show you, here's a video that helps kind of detail the type of client or the type of case, the type of client that you're looking to help, and the scenario. I'll play this one. Here's a bankruptcy sample.
Hi, my name is Shereen Middleton, founder of Middleton Legal. My office is located in Greenbelt, Maryland. We had a lot of questions from clients about the timing and when they should file for bankruptcy. Today, we're going to talk about if your situation is bad enough to file for bankruptcy. When it comes to filing for bankruptcy, no one knows your situation better than yourself. If you are struggling financially and worried about...
Okay, so I won't play too much of it, but again, I'll share these links so that you can really dive into these samples and really get inspired. Okay, so the bottom line is videos work, right? Notice that all of our recommended kind of persuasive devices are videos. Unlike text, videos certainly distinguish yourself from your competition by displaying your personality, your appearance, your speaking style, sort of who you are as an attorney, who you are as a person. Best way to do that is through video. Also, videos build trust and familiarity by letting people get to know you. They allow your prospective clients to really meet you on your website through video, right? That's so critical. And then, of course, when combined with maybe a whiteboard or slides like I'm doing now, videos really allow you to quickly convey a large amount of helpful information in a short amount of time. And think about it. In this day and age, most people are visiting your website on their mobile device. They're much less likely to kind of scroll through on their phone and read lengthy text, but you know they'll certainly watch videos all day on their phone. So videos are an absolute must. And by now, most everyone, I think, understands that videos are an essential marketing element, just like having a website. So the hurdle is getting them shot, getting them edited, posted, and distributed. Those are the hurdles. But they're also an absolute must. And, hopefully I've provided you with some ways to kind of make that a little bit simpler. But the pre-shoot and back end work, those are kind of the most time consuming aspects, right? Actually sitting down and recording the video doesn't take much time at all. And we're talking about, 1 to 2 minute videos for most parts. So it's really the pre-shoot and the back end editing that are the most time consuming. So whether you work from a full script, bullet talking points, whether you're memorizing, your talking points, each video's content needs to be planned. You have to have a strategy, and then post-shoot, the video will of course need to be cleaned up, slides added, and then posted and promoted. So given lawyers' time constraints, right? We found that boiling your work down to a monthly 30-minute shoot really allows you to build collections without stealing much of your work time, right? And using Zoom, just like I'm doing now, using Zoom for the shoots, it really minimizes setup, it reduces costs while still producing a professional product, right? And this kind of shift that this pretty, dominant, pretty critical shift that we made in the pandemic to virtual communication, to our new lives over Zoom. Zoom has become more than acceptable way to really convey all forms of information. So, we've become accustomed to seeing our nation's top officials, our news anchors coming to us from Zoom. So this shift really is an opportunity for you. It really lowers that barrier of entry, almost levels that playing field, right? It's not necessary to spend tens of thousands of dollars to produce, on-site videos, right? It's about providing the value. It's just about getting started. That's the only hurdle that really is in place now, right? So it doesn't need to be high production value video. It just needs to be helpful and valuable. It really does. So if you need help creating videos, our $6.95 a month super comprehensive marketing amplifier program includes a monthly video shoot that can deliver professional past case videos, FAQ videos, client testimonial videos. We're also providing you with case requirement videos. So everything that we discussed in the webinar is included. Of course, the videos are fully edited. We include scripts, topics, talking points, all included. And then certainly creating the videos is most of the battle, but if you don't have anyone seeing them, if no one's watching them, then it certainly defeats the point. So our Amplifier program also includes posting, it includes distribution, that's all included. And we add the videos to your website, share them on all of your social profiles, as well as pepper them throughout all of your prospect emails and nurturing sequences. So your only work is showing up for a 30-minute monthly shoot. We take care of everything else. We really do. So to learn more, you can speak with me. You'll see my direct contact information there. I'm the founder and owner who remains in touch with almost all of our subscribers. I try to stay in touch with every single subscriber. So, really reach out to me. Actually, in the chat, let me just share, if you'd like to schedule a meeting with me, I just shared my direct link to my calendar. So even if you just want to chat, even if you just want to get some inspiration. I love talking about this stuff. Okay, so feel free to reach out. Okay, so we have some great questions. I'm going to try to get to all of them. You can continue to add the questions in the chat if you have any that come up. But one that we got pretty much right off the bat, it says, how do these shoots work exactly? What would be required of me? So, okay, so let me describe kind of what we do. So we now conduct several half-hour shoots every week for lawyers, which, each shoot, and when we do these through Zoom, again, very similar to kind of what we're doing now, but each shoot results in several videos. So some are scripted, some are unscripted. The videos are then edited with slides. We add our content, our text is added, and then posted on the lawyer's websites, distributed socially, emailed to prospects. We use the videos in many, many different ways. We really put the content to work on your behalf. So we're shooting multiple categories, as I mentioned, past case videos, FAQs, testimonials, do I have a good case videos, and we're always adding additional categories, which is pretty cool, so that you have a nice varied collection, an ever-growing collection of videos available. And then each video is then delivered about 3 weeks after the shoot. So depending on, your comfort level and your ability to kind of, ability in front of your computers, webcam, your level of comfort, each shoot averages about 30 minutes and results in 2 to 3 videos. So every single month you're getting 2 to 3 brand new custom videos, fully edited and published and delivered. So typically we begin the initial shoots with scripts as the lawyers kind of, become more practiced and more comfortable. Then we branch out into bullets and unscripted videos. So again, we'll go through the whole demo, just set an appointment with me and I'm happy to show you more samples and really everything that's included in the program. Okay, so another question from Tom. I've been trying to collect past client testimonial videos for some time now without much success. How do you shoot past client testimonials for me if you're not part of my firm? Okay, so like most of, like everything that is included in that marketing amplifier, this is a done for you solution. So all you have to do is provide our team with contact information for your happy past client, someone that you think would make for a wonderful testimonial video, and we handle the rest. We reach out to that client on your behalf. We're setting an appointment, or even in some cases, just jumping on a Zoom right then and hitting record, asking them a series of questions, and then editing that testimonial so that we're able to steadily grow your client testimonial collection. As I mentioned in the presentation, you have to have that systemized, coordinated approach, or, these client testimonials will come in very sporadically, very haphazardly. So that's what we bring to it, and we handle everything for you. You're simply giving us contact info. That's really all that it is. Okay, what practice areas do you have video scripts for? Okay, great question. So our Amplifier program is currently fully built out in the areas of personal injury, estate planning, bankruptcy, family law, criminal defense and DUI, business litigation, and social security disability. But we're actually working on additional areas. So contact me if you're out of those specialties so I can give you more details. Our team of in-house attorney editors draft all of these scripts. They draft all of the content that's included in your marketing amplifier program. These attorney editors are the same attorney editors who work on our book, our legal books. We've been publishing legal guides for 40 years. Most of you are probably, know us for that. That's kind of where our reputation lies. And the marketing amplifier is really kind of an extension of that editorial effort. This is a really good question, one I get often. Who owns the videos if we were to cancel your service? Okay, so great question. As part of your program, you'll be creating a ton of videos, right? And a steady stream of custom videos will be delivered to you every month. As long as you're a subscriber, you're really free to use all of the content in any way that you wish, and we're putting the content to work for you. But upon cancellation, which we have very few subscribers who leave, but upon cancellation, you would keep all of the videos that contain your original copy, your original content, your original scripts. So certainly all of the videos kind of about the firm, what drew you to the law, what drew you to your specialty, anything that is, provided by you, you of course keep all of that. And then we remove any videos that include our content, so our scripts, our slides, you know, our materials. That's how we protect our copyright. So it's a pretty simple divide, and you know, I think hopefully that makes sense. Okay, we have a few more minutes. Continue to ask those questions. So John says, what is the duration of your program? So we ask for a 3-month commitment. So it's $6.95 per month, 3-month commitment. We actually only charge $1 for the first month, meaning you're basically paying for 2 of the first 3 months. After the 3-month commitment, it's month to month. So cancel anytime, no cancellation fee or anything like that. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Other than the monthly videos, is there anything else included for $6.95 per month? Very glad you asked that question. Absolutely, Anna. So other features include, it's an extremely comprehensive program. Again, I'd love the opportunity to show you the full kind of depth and breadth of the content that's included. So go ahead, and I see a couple of you have already set appointments with me. So click on that link in the chat and set an appointment with me. You know, or you can certainly email or call me directly, but I just shared my scheduler link again. Okay, so what else does the Amplifier include for $6.95 a month? First and foremost, a pretty massive content library of consumer books and booklets. So it includes 100 to 300 page branded book, dozens of booklets that range from a couple pages all the way up to 50 or 60 pages. These booklets, of course, attract, educate, persuade your prospects that you have the needed experience and helpfulness. They convey your caring. They really showcase your expertise. So as long as you're a subscriber, you have full access to the branded libraries, as well as, and we brand them for you. So everything is coming from you, of course, your contact info, your bio, headshot, logo, colors, anything you want to do to customize the content. We work very closely with you. Quickly also included in the program, online reviews. We help you really collect positive online reviews. One of the first things we like to do is add an FAQ pop-up lead magnet to your website. So we're attempting to very effectively, actually, we are able to leverage the group of visitors that come to your site. They're not quite ready to book that consult, not quite ready to give you a call, but they're looking to get their questions answered, looking to gather more information. So we add to your website a pop-up that offers a branded, educational, lengthy FAQ booklet in exchange for contact information. That prospect is immediately delivered the booklet, and then we enter them into lengthy, beefy, educational prospect nurturing sequences. So we have nurturing sequences that are, of course, geared toward your prospects. And then we also welcome your new clients on board by filling those gaps that can sometimes occur when there's a bit of a time gap between retention and when visible work is done. I hear all the time, you know, about this kind of combating this buyer's remorse, right? When a new client comes on, they want to understand the process. They want to know what to expect. They want to know what will be expected of them. We fill those communication gaps for you with our welcome series. And also a branded monthly newsletter. Super critical to stay in touch with your past clients for referral purposes. And our program includes a really cool editorial newsletter that is produced every single month and sent out to your prospects. Okay, so I don't see any other questions coming through right now. Feel free to reach out. Thank you guys for attending. It was a real pleasure. Thank you for your participation as well. And we will host another session very soon. So be on the lookout. Okay, thanks so much. It was a pleasure. Bye.